Corey Shepherd, meanwhile, I mean, looking at his pre-qualifying, it was a magnificent performance across those 18 hours, and I'm interested to see what he can do as well.
He's someone who has been knocking on the door, who has been challenging in various supercar series or Australian touring car series around the world, and has been looking to try and cement himself with an elite status. Didn't happen round one, but maybe it's here where the Mr. Antenna Premier Racing Team car starts to find its shine around this sort of track. We were talking about maybe how we talk about Pursuit being that number 2 team potentially, Reese, and I do want to have a chat about it as we...
Corey Shepherd, P1 in pre-qualifying, currently 7th place in the timesheets here in qualifying. He's got Josh Anderson behind him in the TTR car going for the pits, and Shepherd committing then to this one. Let's see what the time is going to be. 16.6 is what he's got for now, and it's a 1:17.0. Unfortunate there for Shepherd, no improvement at all.
Looking at racing action here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. It's go, 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 and it's a horrible start then off of the front from Caruso. Look at the old, look at that Altus car struggle as it's Trans-Tasman 1, 2, and now 3. Hampstead up into 3rd position in the Vianti Model Cars version. Here comes Jared Filsell looking through. Big smoke in the background as they charge through. If you look at the mid-pack now, going through, and there is huge drama as they go through sideways and off. Filsell is off, and many others going into troubles right now. It's Brian Borg in the fence.
Wow, that was a big crush there in the mid-pack. They're almost running 3 wide in places coming up to turn 3. So the race not getting off to a good start for Borg or Filsell. And it looks like I see a TTR car going slow as well. That's Ethan Warren.
That race lead against his teammate, and that's Shepherd around. That's Corey Shepherd in the Premier Racing Team car. Looks really good, and he's going to have to try and find himself a nice clean space to get going again. He does, but ultimately now, questions to be asked. Andrew Gilliam has got the fastest lap. Remember, he got 2 race victories here last season to open his...
right now, but the draft's starting to come into play for Hampstead, and he is dragging Caruso with him.
Certainly is, and here comes... Oh, Mads was thinking about it late. As we catch that replay, then there is the off, and well, Purdy's an innocent bystander in all of that one. He just clobbers into the sides. He runs out of road, but the pack is forming back up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Position will be the goal for him, and it'll be the goal for many drivers here. I think Corey Shepherd will be looking for a lot of redemption in this race. Remember, he ended up retiring from the last race due to some massive damage from an incident, and it was classified 37th at the end of it after qualifying in 9th. I'd expect him to put it into the top 10 once again in this session. Maybe the cooler track will work slightly better for him.
Maybe it will, and maybe that's what he had the car set up for. Maybe it's better in the cold, so we'll keep an eye on it, see whether that pace is. We do have, though, in 6th...
all trying to find a space. The first car out of the pits was Corey Shepherd, so look out for him when he comes around.
Absolutely. So Corey Shepherd will have the first lap available to him out on circuit. You can't miss the big blue Mr. Antenna sponsored Premier Racing Team 718, a very iconic livery in a field full of them, as he looks to try and push on with everything that he has got and make sure that he gets the qualifying he knows he's capable of doing after what was a poor race won by his standards, not finding the checkered flag. But what can 718 do to put down the hammer, to put down everything that's available? Let's go on with a flying lap around this motorsports circuit. Turn 1 is a very fast-flowing corner, 178 kilometers an hour before riding up the power, 220. Small lift on the brakes, which gets bigger and bigger. He's back down to 170 again, not 298 kilometers an hour, as the sticker says. They're just behind. Keep an eye out on that steering wheel and see the gear changes going through Quebec. Slightly misses the apex there through the mid part and will struggle on the exit to put the power down because of that. Few technical issues. Kurt Stenberg with a throughput. That's going to put him really on the back foot in qualifying for Stenny out of Perth, Western Australia. But now here is Shepherd, going through then at Moss Corner. You can see him ragging on the wheel there, opposite lock almost, as he tries to put the power down, because you're turning still as you go through onto the Mario Andretti straight, because it very quickly flicks left once again. Now you've got this long straight to contemplate a couple of things. 250k, 260k. You go through 264 on the brakes into the next right, And now you're starting to think about, okay, final 3 corners. Right, you got this left to turn 9, which definitely puts the power into perspective. And finally, turn 10 at just 126 kilometers an hour on the power for the drive to the line. It's the second line they go to. That's a 16.2. Emily Jones is quicker, though. 16.1 is the time to beat.
Shepherd wants to improve here on 19th place. Ran a 1:16.2, and you can see there Jared Filsell going into the tyre barriers and getting sent up and over. That's a little bit better there for Corey Shepherd, but unfortunately, not too huge a position gain. Up into 16th, though, and that's Lee Ellis spun on pit exit.
On now. 5 seconds, we get the tell to wait, and let's get ourselves then all into position, because we are going to be green, and we are going to be go, go, go. Slow start from Myers, and look at that. Oh, they nearly pinched into each other. Hampstead went for a gap that didn't exist. Caruso survives it. Round the outside goes Hampstead, clear for the front 2. There's a slide in the background. That's Anderson in a bit of trouble then, trying to hold it together, and drops 3, 4, 5, 6 places going through. Gilliam gets down the inside. They go through turn 2 at Clayton's and over towards Quebec. He's going to get a little bit in trouble here. Everyone else has pretty much made it through unscathed, but that was a scary start.
Oh, no.
They went on through. Preston unhappy on the radio. See, this is Corey Shepherd in the Mr. Antenna car. There's the contact already. That is Taliancic there making contact with the 033. And then on the exit, that's a case of, well, pick your lane. It's 3 wide. And, well, again, Kenneth Latta, it's just, again, netcode. Just that netcode contact that comes in, gets turned across the front, and bang, that's horrible contact.
Yeah, very horrible, but, you know, that tends to happen as we...
It's going to be a maiden win for Jordan Caruso, who now writes his name in Scops folklore as he picks up the big result. They push behind. It is Caruso who wins for Altus Esports.